Hey y'all, welcome to Pleiadian Point of View. I'm Peyton with Peyton Energetics, and I'm a Pleiadian channel and starseed coach. So in today's video, the Pleiadians wanted to talk to us about something that we are noticing in the energies right now. And that is, a lot of lightworkers and starseeds are starting to feel a very strong pull to disconnect from the 3D world. So in today's video, the Pleiadians are going to talk to us about what is happening, why so many of us are feeling like this, and help us understand the energetic background. But before we jump in to talking about today's topic, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button if you haven't done that yet. So as we continue to move forward into the summer energies, one thing that a lot of lightworkers and starseeds are going to be noticing is a very strong pull to separate from anything 3D. And when we are talking about 3D, we're just talking about those denser timelines, those denser storylines, themes that are playing out in our collective. But whenever we talk about 3D timelines, we're never doing it from the perspective of judgment. Every timeline, every choice, every person is just as valid and important as everyone else. But what we're seeing on the planet is a very strong separation of the human collective based on frequency. This is why, as you look around at the world around you, it's like there are two completely different realities playing out. And your eyes are not fooling you. This is actually what is happening. This is what the Pleiadians have been telling us for more than 5 years now, is the separation of timelines, where humanity is going into fundamentally different directions. And we are now far enough along on this process that it's getting harder and harder to have any sort of contact with people who are on another train. So for those who are on ascending timelines, mixing it up in the 3D storylines just doesn't work for us anymore. And so for a lot of people who are on ascending timelines, and if you are watching these videos, that is probably you, you're probably going to start noticing that anything that is very 3D, very dense, very based in separation and fear, is just going to feel completely off to you. It may start to hit you like a punch in the gut, because what's happening is you have shifted your frequency so much, you are no longer a match for those timelines. So what we are seeing is that there's an energetic separation on the planet. And what's happening now that this separation is well underway is that it's getting harder to interact with anyone or anything that's on a very different vibration than you are. So the way that a lot of people are noticing this is that it's getting very hard for them to maintain relationships with people who are very fear-based. People who are playing out those denser storylines. You may just find that you just have nothing in common with them anymore. You may find that their energy is making you very uncomfortable. And you may just find that you have no desire at all to be in those situations. Those places, storylines, situations, events that are very dense in nature, that are playing out the fear storylines on the planet, that are playing out the negative agendas on the planet. For lightworkers and starseeds who have done a lot of their spiritual work, this is starting to become something that is not in your frame of reference anymore. It is getting to the point where it literally can't find you. So what we are noticing as the timelines continue to separate is that anything that is not closely related to us in terms of vibration can't find us anymore. So it's getting harder for us to interact in those 3D storylines. We just find we just don't care. So for a lot of lightworkers and starseeds, what we're going to notice in these energies is that 3D, the fear-based storylines, the lack-based storylines, the anger-based storylines are just becoming a distant memory. They're just not a match to who we are anymore. And so what happens is these things start to pull out of our reality. So you may be noticing that where you used to have some connections to what we lovingly refer to as the 3D world, you're having to let those go. That they are just no longer aligned with you. They don't feel good. They don't interest you. You just don't have the energy to engage with it anymore. And what is happening is that we are all separating based on our energy. So one thing that a lot of light workers and starseeds are going to be noticing in these energies is the pull to disconnect from these denser storylines. And this may show up in a lot of different ways. It may be that you start to follow on social media or through video a lot less people, that there are just fewer and fewer teachers and mentors out there, people who you give your attention to, fewer and fewer who feel good to you anymore. You may notice you are just letting go of friendships, that there are just people that you cannot bring yourself to invest more time in. And again, we are not talking about this from the perspective of judgment. We're just coming to a point in the ascension process where the two sides of the equation can't interact anymore. So you may notice that you are losing interest in a lot of things that you used to engage with. Relationships, sources of information, things that used to hold your attention, even things like hobbies, things that you used to love, you might find that you are losing interest in. Because as we move deeper and deeper into our chosen timeline, a whole new universe is opening up to us. And so in order to move forward as quickly as possible, which a lot of us are very concerned with, we have to let go of the old. So we are letting go of the anchors now. And for a lot of us, that's going to look like cutting ties, pulling back, walking away from anything of denser vibration. We cannot play in both pools anymore. So for a lot of us, this is going to show up as cutting ties with the 3D world. So that is something that I know a lot of y'all are noticing. And sometimes this is an easy, gentle process, and sometimes it's not. But what is happening is we are getting laser focused on the timeline we have chosen. So the universe is not being so soft and gentle with us when we flirt with things that are not on our timeline. We're going to get a very quick, very speedy reflection that something is not a match to us. So it is time to let go with grace. So that is something that we are going to be noticing in the energies this summer. And it is a function of where we are in the ascension process. The two timelines have just gotten far enough away that we just can't straddle the fence anymore. So we're going to be seeing that playing out in real time over the next month or two. So that is what the Pleiadians wanted to share with you in this week's POV. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button if you haven't done that yet. And as always, if you need a little help with all of this, click the link in the description to work with me one-on-one. I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.